You're listening to Into the Disappearing. I'm Marin Blake. Tonight, we revisit a familiar shape, a girl with tangled hair, a green nylon jacket, and no memory of where she's been. She's not a ghost, not exactly, but she has returned to a town that buried her in more ways than one. She said she never left. But what if that's true? This is episode 30, The Girl in the Green Jacket. December 5th, 2005. Elk Bend, Idaho. Population 312. The kind of town where lost dogs make the evening news and church picnics are posted on grocery bulletin boards. That Monday, 13-year-old Brielle Tannis walked home from Elk Bend Middle School. It was a mile-long route past hayfields and a rusted grain elevator. The air was sharp, snow falling sideways in sheets. At 3:58 p.m., a retired farmer named Earl Tenner spotted something on his fence post. A coat, small green nylon. Inside the collar, BT stitched in faded pink thread. It was Brielle's. By 5 p.m., her mother had called the sheriff. By 8 p.m., the town had turned cold in more ways than one. No signs of a struggle, no tracks in the snow. No one saw her past the orchard. She was just gone. March 18th, 2023. A woman walked into a 24-hour Sinclair station in Salmon, Idaho. Her shoes were thin and threadbare, her eyes wide and flat, her jacket unmistakable. Faded green nylon, zipper half stuck, the letters BT still stitched in pink. She told the clerk she needed to call her mother. She gave a name, Brielle Tannis. The clerk, 19-year-old Amy West, thought it was a prank or someone in crisis. But fingerprints matched. So did her dental chip from a third-grade biking accident. Her mother, she dropped the phone when she heard her voice. The problem was, Brielle hadn't aged. She still looked 13. Psychologists say that memory under trauma can distort, collapse into fragments, or fill with false imagery. But when Brielle was asked where she'd been, she said only, in the hollow. That phrase meant nothing at first, but she described it further. Walls that pulse like living skin roots growing inward from the ceiling. A light that hummed even in pitch darkness. No clocks, no mirrors, no voices but her own. She said she was never hurt, but also never seen. It watched, she whispered once, but it never moved. 3 months after Brielle returned, in July of 2023, a woman appeared at a Waffle House in Cedartown, Georgia, barefoot, dazed, wearing a school uniform from the 1980s. Her name? Maya Phelps. Last seen, 1987. She was 13. Vanished while biking home from piano lessons. Her backpack had been found propped neatly beside a telephone pole. Contents untouched. Maya hadn't aged either. And she wore the exact same brand of green nylon jacket, model discontinued in 1989. Inside the collar, MP, same pink stitching, same thread count, same font. But it wasn't just girls. In 1999, a 12-year-old boy named Colton Vesser disappeared for 72 hours in Kansas. He reappeared 3 days later, barefoot and mute, outside a ranger station. He spoke about nothing for years. In October 2023, Colton, now 36, came forward after seeing a news segment about Brielle and Maya. He told investigators, I saw them, both of them, in the hollow. I don't think they saw me. When asked how he knew it was them, he said, the jackets. You don't forget the green. Fabric aging tests were inconclusive. Brielle's jacket had zero fiber degradation, no sun damage, no water saturation. Tests showed the coat had been in a temperature-controlled environment for nearly 2 decades. Impossible, unless someone had stored it, or time itself had paused. Blood work showed near-perfect immune health, slight malnutrition, Zero traces of 21st century exposure, not even microplastics. It was like they'd been vacuum sealed in time. But for what purpose? And by whom? There was no smell of earth, only metal. Sometimes the lights made me float, but not my body. There were others, I think, but we were all quiet. The humming came from under the floor. There was a door, rib-shaped. I didn't open it. Both girls used the same metaphors. Neither had met. They described a tree growing upside down above the ceiling. Roots, like fingers. Maya drew obsessively after her return. One sketch showed a cavernous space with layered bone-like structures. In the center, a single figure, all black, faceless, standing in the light. Her title? The One Who Watches. Psychologists say this is projection, a trauma response, but Colton described something similar before ever seeing the image. He called it the tall one who didn't blink. Today, Brielle lives with her aunt in Boise. She doesn't speak often, but every year, she returns to that same fence post where her jacket once hung. She ties a red ribbon on the barbed wire. One for her, one for Maya, one for whoever is still missing. She told her aunt once, "The hollow opens again, but not for the same person twice." Some disappearances rewrite the rules, others just change the clocks. 3 children returned in green jackets, unchanged, unaged, unexplainable, and they all remember the humming. You've been listening to Into the Disappearing. I'm Marin Blake. We'll keep walking the fence post, and we'll keep asking what happens when time lets go. Next week, we take you to a Civil War cemetery in Tennessee, where grave markers shift between visits and 3 tourists vanished in a 72-hour window, all while searching for someone who should already be buried. Episode 31, The Stones That Move.
When the night gets bright and the stars align, we stir up dreams in cosmic time. A little stardust, a little tune, you're mixing it with the moon.